Can you be too positive? Let's talk about that. Well, hello everybody. What is going on? Welcome to Standing Still, where I speak the truth in love, because speaking the truth is love. I am your friend Jason, also known as Tyndale's Beard. And hey, first of all, I want to thank you guys for being patient with me. It's been a while since I've done a video. I've been down with bronchitis, and that's been going on for about 2 weeks. Finally starting to feel better. Still coughing up some junk, but hopefully it is done and over with finally. But listen, today, guys, I want to talk to you about positivity. Can you be too positive? There is a push in the world today to focus on just positivity and just always being positive. I see it in the public square all the time. You know, people don't want to see or hear or even read anything that's negative. You see this a lot in modern psychology. You know, therapists' office routinely talk about self-love and self-care and all this positive, ooey gooey, junk. People talk a lot about positive vibes, right? They only want good things to be going on in their lives. I see young people in the workplace who cannot take even constructive criticism. Okay, but here's the thing about positivity and this whole positivity movement that we're kind of seeing. That attitude, while it seems attractive to many, is actually very deadly. The positive only crowd will, in fact, love you to death if you let them. So what do I mean? Okay, so people like to talk about cutting out negativity. So if someone or something makes them feel bad, they won't engage with that person or that situation in the future. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes we do need to cut out people who are a drain on us. But we also have to have and display grace to people, especially we who are Christians, we who are born-again children of God. We have to display grace to people. And sometimes, yes, that means they get to take advantage of us. All right? Then there's folks talk a lot about, say, body positivity. Okay, so these folks, they will not only speak positively about things like obesity, but then they'll often attack those who try to get healthy, maybe by losing some of that excess weight. Now, I don't believe in pointing and laughing at people or calling people names or anything ridiculous like that. But at some point, we do need to realize that, like me, we need to realize we are unhealthy. And we can't realize that if everyone around us is telling us it's all good all the time. Okay, but listen, about positivity, here's the real kicker. This same thing is happening spiritually. There's a big push in churches today to focus only on the positive. There are preachers and church members who only want to emphasize God's love. And what they don't realize is when they do this, they are downplaying His holiness. Now, they'll say you can't really separate His love and His holiness. You can't have one without the other. And they're right as far as that goes. But they always want to drag the emphasis over to love. And what they end up doing, like I said, is they downplay holiness. They overlook sin. So then sin creeps into the church. Nobody can say anything because that would be what? Mean. That would be mean. So standards of dress, can't touch it. Worldly living, can't touch it. Sexual immorality, can't touch it. Worldly music, can't touch it. Why? Because you can't talk about anything negative. You always got to be positive. So the question here I have then is why would anyone want to preach or teach on those issues? Okay, nobody likes it. And a lot of these positivity only folks would say, oh, well, you just want to preach and teach on that stuff because you're mean-spirited, you're a legalistic Pharisee, and you just generally hate people, and you want everyone to be like you. That is not at all the case. I mean, have you even read the Bible? Okay, people who preach and teach on this sort of thing do so because they love you, because they want you to understand who God is. They understand who God is. They understand His holiness, and they understand how wicked and awful sin really is. And they want you to understand those things too. So people like that, people like me, we don't speak the truth because we hate people. We speak the truth because we love people. Jesus said, if ye love me, keep my commandments. That's John chapter 14 and verse 15. We're told in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 6 that charity rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. So listen, if you're all right with your friends and your family committing sin and you don't want to say anything because you don't want to be seen as unloving, I've got news for you. You are already unloving at that point. Okay, because what I'm saying is you don't care so much about their standing with God. You care about your reputation with that person. And that's a hard thing for a lot of folks because, you know, we don't want to lose friends. We don't want to have family members be upset with us. Nevertheless, we have a duty and a responsibility, if we are Christians, to share God's truth with people, not our truth. Okay, so now listen, I'm not saying that you have to be cantankerous, mean-spirited. You know, you don't have to run around going, hey, you're a sinner. You know, what's wrong with you? Okay, listen, if you stand for truth, you're going to get mistaken for that anyway. But there does have to be room for grace. There has to be room for love and forgiveness. You know, in Matthew 18, verses 21 through 22, it says, then Peter came to him, that's Jesus, and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. So, again, grace. Okay? But listen, my point today really is this. The same Bible that condemns sin and promises judgment is the same Bible that speaks of Christ's sacrifice because of God's love for us. Okay, so there is mercy and grace, and there is judgment and condemnation. And we have to be careful about going too much to one side or the other on that issue. We have to find that biblical balance. We also do need to be mindful that real love is always going to be subservient to the truth. You can have truth without love. Okay, that's not pleasant, but it is possible. But you can never, mark it down, you can never have real love without the truth. And so, as always, guys, I'm going to continue to speak the truth in love because speaking the truth is love. But listen, if you want to hear more about this, I'm going to link you to a sermon down below in the comments area. I listened to a sermon this weekend by Pastor Stacey Shiflett, and it's a great message on this topic. He, of course, speaks far more eloquently than I can, but I really enjoyed it. You know, being homesick from church, I kind of enjoy having some good, solid, fundamental Bible preachers to watch online, so it's always awesome. For those of my viewers who are familiar with missionary Spencer Smith, this Friday he's going to be releasing a new documentary, Third Adam 4, The Road to Shambhala. Okay, now that's coming out this Friday. If you're a channel member like I am, okay, he released an early version of it, and I've got to tell you guys, it is awesome. It is awesome. I would recommend becoming a channel member and checking that out. There's a lot of good information in this documentary. But otherwise, yeah, it's coming out on Friday. So I'm going to also put a link in for Spencer's channel. I highly recommend you check that out. You're not going to want to miss it, guys. It is really good. So, hey, guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Check out the links below. And, hey, guys, thank you again, and I will catch you next time. Oh, yeah, and before I forget, it's Wednesday, so get ye to church. Have a good one, guys.